easy because they just don't have anything else going on. They don't have anything else going on most of the time, most guys. Sister Annie said the agenda being pushed is to cause further division between black men and black women. Healing starts within the family. Yeah, that is definitely I think that's the larger issue. Now that agenda is coming from the outside, but us on the inside, we need to recognize that and take steps to change it. But unfortunately, we're not doing it that much. But True says exactly, if you don't want a relationship, stay away from people and stop wasting people's time. Yeah, we got to stop doing that, man, because we are ruining a lot of people doing that. Brother Sip says, self-improve to get non-black women. I mean, it don't matter what kind of woman you want. It really don't matter. If you're selecting women and you're not vetting them properly, it doesn't matter what colored woman you get. In my opinion, I don't know. I've seen a lot of guys lose with all different types of races of women. So, I mean, a bad woman is a bad woman. Period. The end. Right. So make sure you self-improve to pick non-bad women. I would say black, white, red, yellow, or green. Right. That's my opinion, at least. So he said we lack mature women to teach femininity. You're right. We do. But there's some places you can go, Sister Enya, and if you feel that way, Sister Enya, we need you. We need you to start a page where you're teaching this stuff. We got somebody call themselves doing it, but all they do is scream at black women. Let me tell you why black women are so set up. Let me tell you. Ah! I mean, she's just screaming at them. I'm like, God, dog. But I ain't gonna say no names. But let me tell you, reason number 537 why black women are no good. You're like, golly, why are you screaming? Jesus Christ. Scripture teaches us that the older is to teach the younger. We don't know how to love our husbands and our children. I understand that. That's why we need you. Yeah, it is. That's your job. I remember when I got into the nation, I came in and I rearranged the way they were doing the banking system. I said, hey, the way we banking it's like out of the Stone Age. I told the person in charge above me, I said, hey, we doing this in the Stone Age, man. We need to change this. I said, y'all need to change it, right? He said, go do it. I said, what you mean go do it? He said, go do it. Would you think we all here, you just going to tell us ideas? No, brother, go do it. This ain't no place for you just stand around telling us what we ain't doing. You in here, you us now. You go do it. I said, oh, okay. And I did. I changed the whole banking situation. But I'm just saying, it's your idea. It's your idea, Sister Enya. We need you. We need you to step in there and step in that gap for us. Shout out to you for that. Sister Quantum, I agree. Some women use what they got to manipulate men into slapping people. Oh, man. Wasn't that ugly, Sister Quantum? Wasn't that ugly? That was ridiculous, man. That was ridiculous. If any of y'all pray for Will Smith, man. He is in a bad place right now. Holy smokes. Sister Quantum said, I like that they know who they are. They're easy to be around. Okay, maybe so. Maybe so. Quantum says, men who are trying so hard become annoying, bugaboo. Yeah, man, they just, but we don't realize it. See, we don't realize this, Quantum, until somebody breaks it down to us. See, we as men, it's just like Sister Enya was saying, we as men, nobody breaks it down to us, right? You're going to have to go through about 4 or 5 women before you figure out that your breath stinks. Because nobody's going to tell you your breath stinks. Women just going to ghost you. They don't tell you nothing. Why? Because they so scared you might flip out on them and try to hurt them or something. They're not going to say nothing to you. They're just going to bounce. You have to kind of figure a lot of stuff out on your own, right? It's hard on men. It's hard on men. It's hard on women too. It's hard on men. Air Jordan said this man on a panel has a white, black, African wife. He said his wife is no different than his black. Hey, I feel like this. You know, whoever you love, you love. You know what I mean? Whoever you love, you love. You know what I mean? Black people need to get together to kind of clean up the community. But if you can't find a black person that loves you, what can I say? I'm not in your life. You're the only one that you need to make yourself happy. Like Will Smith said. Since Quantum said, wait, bro, see, I like all those text messages too. Morning text, all day text, and night texting is just fine. Just check on me throughout the day and evening is fine. Oh, well, hey, you would not like me, Sister Quantum, because I might hit you with one, but I'm not going to be doing it all day. I'm just not going to do it. Shout out to the brothers that do. Shout out to the platonic brothers. Shout out to the platonic brothers, but I'm just not going to do that all day. I'm not going to do it all day. Sister Quantum, I hope there's a payoff at the end of all that texting. Sister Inya said, I don't know who's does that yelling, but I will never start a page. YouTube is brutal. Laugh out loud. It is. I'm just saying we need you. But yeah, I understand. Believe me, I understand. Just like when my wife told me that, I understood. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, I didn't be like, oh, but you need to do that. I said, okay. If you ain't cut for it, you ain't cut for it. So I get it. It's a very brutal place. As you guys have seen me go through, right? Seen me, Rico, Patrice. You seen JP. We see us go through it. Marcus, you seen us go through it, right? Man, some of these people have no heart, man. They heartless. They'll attack you. They'll pull you into the line of fire. You had nothing to do with it. They'll pull you into the line of fire. They'll pull you in there. Here, the Sister Patrice got this man to take out all these videos, and the dude's still trying to pull her into the line of fire. But I can appreciate your position, Sister Inya. Appreciate you. Sister Vitamin Q says, you said when a guy is friend zone, a woman wants safety from him, and I said, what's wrong with that? No, I didn't say what's wrong with that. What's wrong with it is the guy doesn't recognize that he's being friend zoned. Instead of being in the friend zone, just leave. The friend zone is worse than just creating the absence. Just leave. Don't be in the friend zone. Because if you're in the friend zone, then you have to recognize that you have to put non-sexual time into a woman that's not going to respond. See, you think when you're in a friend zone, you think that this non-sexual time is going to pay off in sexual time at some point. And I would say 99% of the time, it doesn't. Yeah, there's that 1% time where something happens like that. But usually, that non-sexual time is not going to be, it's not going to pay off. For the guy, at least. I should say it like that, for the guy. Sister Quantum, trying to impress me is annoying ASF. When we hang out, he feels the need to show off. Yeah, because men need to express. You know why he feels like he needs to show off? He feels like he needs to show off because he's not getting enough feminine energy coming back at him. Once he gets enough feminine energy coming back at him, he can calm down. He doesn't feel like he has to express that all the time. But most women are reserved. They don't want to give you that, especially if you're just hanging out. They don't want to give you all of that feminine energy right away, right? They don't know what's going to happen and everything like that. So they're not going to give you that feminine energy right away. So therefore, he feels like, okay, I have to keep expressing this masculinity until she relaxes and give me that feminine energy. That's what they think is going on. In their head, that's what's happening. In your head, you're like, why is this guy showing off all the time? But the reason why he's doing that is because he's trying to invoke that feminine energy out of you. He thinks by creating this super huge masculine show for you that you will be like, oh, and you'll just start being more feminine. But in reality, to the average woman today, that's a turnoff, right? But guys don't realize that ain't nobody out there teaching except your brother. Brother True says, shit, I tell people they stink if that is together. Hey, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, it just depends on the type of person they are. Sister Quantum says, if he gives me what I want, then he gets the return. Well, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes. But like I said, Quantum, it depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for a husband, or are you looking for casual sex? If you're looking for casual sex, just guys willing to do just about anything to have casual sex. But now when you start trying to mate select, which is what I'm teaching mate selection. Now I know a lot of guys will, you go to Fresh and Fit and all them, they teaching you how to get, have a lot of sex with a lot of different women. But as long as the person, in my opinion, not you personally, but women in particular, they need to be serious about mate selection after the age of, let's say, about 22 or 23. They need to be really serious. They need to get really serious about it. That's when you're at your highest level of sexual market value. And what I mean by sexual market value, that is your marketplace value according to the buyer, who is the men. The men are the buyers. We're the ones that determine your value, right? You see these women, they go on Kevin Samuels and they say, I'm a 10. He said, rate yourself from 1 to 10. You can't use 7. And inevitably, every once in a while, some chick will get up there and say, I'm a 10. And, you look in her house looks dusty. She looks dusty, right? And she'll say something stupid like this. I clean up good. Don't worry about me now. I clean up good. And you don't realize, man, men don't care how you clean up. They don't care. You get one swipe at it and that's it. But shout out to Quantum. Brother Apex Alpha Simp in the building. What up, chat? What up? Where are the McChickens? Man, you and the McChickens, Apex. Holy smokes, man. Holy smokes. We are not going to deal with you with the chickens today, man. Glad to have you in the building, Brother Apex. Good to see you. Brother Sim, salute to the chat. Brother C, what's more difficult to keep, a 10-year marriage or a 10-year non-marriage? Just a random question. Let me answer that one for you, Brother Sim. A 10-year non-marriage is easier to keep. Why? Because there's much less restrictions there. In a 10-year marriage, you're gonna have to you got much more at risk in the marriage, right? I'm talking about just emotionally, but after 10 years, at least in California, that could mean lifetime alimony for somebody, right? It could mean lifetime alimony for somebody. So you got to make a decision before year 10. If you're married, you got to, and it's not going good, you need to make a decision before that 10-year mark. And sometimes, a lot of times, these women, what they'll do, they'll drag you to counseling, especially when you're real close to the 10-year mark. They'll drag you to counseling, knowing that they're not going to stay with you, but just to drag you over that 10-year line. You know what I'm saying? I think a 10-year marriage is much more. You said it's difficult to keep. I would say the 10-year marriage is more difficult to keep. It's much more in a marriage. There's much more compromising that goes into a marriage than in a non-marriage. Non-marriage, you can just get up and walk out and leave. You know what I mean? But in a marriage, you can't just get up and walk and leave. You know what I mean? Much more. But Apex said she a 10, but her house is hygiene at 2. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I'm like, she's like, I'm a 10. You know? You're like, no. The market determines the price. The market determines the value, not you. You can't determine your own value, right? You can't pull a Hyundai onto a Maserati lot and say, yeah, this is worth $200,000. You can't do that. Nobody's gonna buy it. It's gonna just sit there, right? Oh, you got to know how you do it. Sister Quantum says you go through the same things in both 10-year married or not married. No, you don't. No, you don't. Sister Quantum, no, you don't. And that's the thing that non-married people think that it's the same, and it's not. But you'll see once you actually get married, you'll see that a 10-year relationship and a 10-year marriage are two totally different things. They're totally different. They have similar qualities, but when it gets down to it, a marriage is much more, it's much more, you're much more involved with that. A 10-year relationship, you can just at any time just say, hey, you know what, this ain't working out, I'm gone. Not in a marriage. A marriage, you can't do that. You can't just say I'm gone. You may have property together, you got children together, you know what I mean? You got a lease, you got whatever, right? You got things that you got to work through together. You know what I mean? Plus, you got your feelings. You know what I mean? In a marriage, you're like, man, I thought this was going to last forever. You have to accept that. You got to grieve over that part. I mean, in a 10-year relationship, it's pretty much hurt feelings. But in a marriage, a lot of times people grieve. You know, they grieve the marriage not falling apart. But you said girlfriend or boyfriend is a strong delusion. Yeah, it's not the same as being married. Not at all. But I mean, it's a nice try. It's a good runner-up. It's something you should do. In you know, if you're going to try and test things out, I'm not saying you shouldn't be good boyfriend and girlfriend, but don't think that's like a marriage. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. Especially when you get past year 10. It takes you about 10 years for really people, you don't really start seeing the real person. 5 or 10 years, you start seeing a real person. They not getting up, putting their makeup on before you get up and all that. They ain't doing that enough stuff no more. They farting in front of you now. They leave the bathroom door open around you now. They tell you to, hey, can you bring some TP in here? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You kissing them, and they got that morning breath. You kissing them. You still ragdolling them, even though they got both of you guys got that morning breath. You guys still get up and ragdoll each other, right? That's after year 10. Yeah, everybody's cool. Brother Apex said, yeah, you just can't up and leave a marriage. No, you can't, man. You can't. Not a good idea. It's not the old days. Remember, they used to call that the black people divorce, right? The black people divorce is when, you know, black people just leave. They just leave each other, right? Then the woman finds somebody who wants to marry her. And she say, I can't get married because I'm still married. And you go, what? When's the last time you see your husband? 20 years ago. Ay. Peoples. Why are so many amazing women single? Why are they single? Like I was saying, it is definitely has to do with the feminist agenda, where the feminism has really told, in particular, black women to put off mate selection, right? Then, like Sister Enya says, there's a lot of places where nobody is teaching the younger women how to mate select. You don't even know how to mate select. You don't even know what to look for in a man. So you go off of your own benevolence, what you've been taught coming up through the high school and the junior high school years, right?
Have you tried a knife? Oh, I wouldn't take the coward's way out. We use the selection methods we were taught from our peers, right? What is that? Appearance. Now even women use an appearance to select, right? Not character, not resources, not like I said, character. They're not using that as a factor for deciding. They're using strictly appearance and just masculinity, right? But True said, I did think before, but you never. You're talking to somebody else. But True said, let's talk about it. Like I told you, because they aren't. They aren't amazing. True said, moms are to teach their daughters survival instead of love. They are taught that a man is an object, not a necessity. Like I said, that is
the feminist agenda. They taught this from when they're small girls. They taught that from when they're small girls. So by the time they get to the college years, they are the embodiment of that dogma. And so they respond and react and live based off that dogma. And once they live off that dogma, they are so unsuccessful. But the feminists have a solution for that. They have an answer for why they're so unsuccessful. It's the men. The men are just so many crappy men. That's why women are unsuccessful, because of the crappy men. The choices out there, right? So the women accept that. That's easier to accept than to accept what I'm saying. You're not creating proximity with productive men. You're not holding your value. You're not understanding that femininity is super attractive to men. You're only going off of your physical appearance. When you use your physical appearance with femininity, the world is yours. But if you don't, if you use one and not the other, especially just your beauty appearance, you have a beauty appearance? Yeah, everybody has a beauty appearance. That's really what's not going to keep a man. What's going to keep a man is the constant reinforcement of his superior position in the relationship. Well, and so here's femininity. Ain't nobody superior over me. Ain't nobody over me. Ain't nobody dominating me. There you go. That's why so many amazing women are single, because they don't want to allow nature to take its course. This is nature taking its course. If you look in the animal kingdom, is there any animal out there that has physical relations with the female that doesn't dominate that female at the time they having those physical relations? No. When the male dominates her, he dominates her. She expects to be dominated. Am I right or am I wrong? These women, these females dominate. I mean, these males dominate those females. You ever seen bears having sex? You ever seen lions having sex? You ever seen any animals having sex? The male dominates that female, right? She is basically, she don't know if he's going to step on her and kill her and whatever, right? But she's allowing herself to be dominated because she understands this is nature's way. This is nature's way. It's only the human species that try to go against nature's way, right? With feminism. No, you can't dominate me. But I want a man, but I don't want you to dominate me. But you can't have both things. Both things are not going to be there. And are you really going to respect a man that doesn't want to dominate you? That's why we having all these women and men and having all these affairs. Because number one, the woman won't let the man dominate, so he goes to be with somebody at work that will let him dominate. Likewise, a woman wants to be around somebody that can dominate her, because at home she got a guy that what they call them beta males or whatever, but she got a guy that basically lets her dominate him. Do this, go here, be here, do this, right? Go here, come here, sit down, stand up. We're going to this party. We're going here, we're going there. So the women don't never they don't get what they want because they don't understand male female relations in animals is predicated upon the male dominating the female. The male must dominate the female. If you want to create monogamy over a long period of time and reinforce monogamy over a long period of time, You have to use your feminism to reinforce the dominance of the male. Whoop, that was another one that went right over y'all's head. Hey, I know what. Why don't you go to your favorite uncle? Go to your favorite uncle and see what he's doing, right? I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you. I got somebody today that's going to do it. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I got this person. I just signed up for the $3,000 TLA course because TLA is my man. I'm going to sign up for that course and I'm going to bring him on. And he's going to come on and he's going to come on here. He's going to tell you we can get this money. We're going to get monetized. TLA going to tell you. Shout out to your favorite uncle. Shout out to your favorite uncle. But ain't nobody telling you this stuff, right? Nobody's telling you this stuff in real time. It's just me. It's just me. By myself. I tell people stuff in real time. If you really want to see the reality, I put the math with it. See, everybody tells you their opinions. I did the math already. I did the mathematics on paper already, and I already know how this goes. Brother Chu, let's talk about like crying. Shout out to your favorite uncle, man. Shout out to your favorite uncle, Truth. Shout out to your favorite uncle. All right, so well, who else gonna tell you? Who else gonna tell you, man? I got to tell you, man. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody else gonna tell you this stuff and put the mathematics with it. A lot of people will tell you stuff, but it's merely their opinion. They can't back it up with math, and I can back it up with the mathematics. I can back it up with the eye test. I can back it up. Go find me any animal that's out there where the male in the especially in the sexual expression does not dominate the female. It just does not happen. It does not happen. The male has to be the dominant party. He has to. Why? Why is the male the dominant party? Let's do some real math. Car, let's do some real math. Tank math, it's the aftermath. Let's do some real math. Why should the male be the dominant party? Because the male is bringing the moving part. Female eggs don't move. They don't move. Female eggs have to be germinated. They don't move. You as the man, you bring the moving part. Once that sperm that's moving, that's alive, hits that egg, an explosion happens. That's when the explosion happens. That's when the combustion happens. The female orgasm is negligible. It's negligible. It has nothing to do with bringing life into this world. Nothing. The male orgasm is the only orgasm that brings life into this world. Oh, I know. Clarence, you don't have no degrees. Clarence, how can you say that? All right, I'll just go find one of them degree Negroes and bring them over here and tell them to come on up here. I'll give them the link and they can come on up here and tell me I'm wrong. But you see, I do show after show after show after show after show. None of them come over here. They know where I'm at. They listening, but they don't come over here. Why? They don't want to get beat up with this truth. They can't deny none of what I'm saying. Let's talk about it like, yep, we're going to provide truth, which means it's synonymous to all. Just the truth, brother. That's all we doing, man. Brother Marcus said they probably didn't have enough McChickens. Now, man, Brother Apex, now you got Marcus on these McChickens. Holy smokes. What is going on, man?